turkey startled me almost as bad as a partridge taking off. Right down in here. There's a light scent of perfume in the air. I forget about that happening every year until now. Blossoms are producing attractant, I guess, for bees. That's enough. I came over and laid down behind her. Gave her some love, and well, she just went from there and got worked up, riled up. Oh yeah, sweet girl. Well, I'm done with my daily allotment of work. What did I do? Well, I did my loops walk. There's something between there. I guess I sat in a chair and drank water. Then I forced myself, had a talk with myself. Get up, move your behind. I did. My first wheelbarrow load. It all came right back to me. How to hold the axe and move the axe. I wasn't terribly hesitant about that I had lost it all over the winter. I'm going to go in the house and read a book. I've rediscovered James Lee Burke. Oh my gosh. What a terrific. Every sentence practically, that's an exaggeration, but he composes words in such a fluid and illusory method. I can see it. He's a poet. And I don't like poets. The only poet I like is Billy Collins, who was the United States Poet Laureate for a few years. He has a lot of fun with words. Unlike most poets, they're so profoundly impressed with themselves. Look at me, how profound I am. Well, James Lee Burke, the author, the writer, is a big switch from my former author that I was reading that I gave up on after 50 pages. He was writing on a junior high school level. He's got two main characters. Now in this latest book that I was trying to get through, they've teamed up and are snidely cracking insult jokes at each other that are, to call them junior high boys is even more elevated than what he's doing. It's more like fourth grade. All right, inside to eat cashews and drink some kombucha. I gave up on my Coke. Can't do that anymore. Nope. We're going down to Otter Pond. See what almost a quarter of an inch of rain overnight did with it again. This is turning into a fantastic spring of rain. And I've just found out, coming up on Monday into Tuesday is an inch and a quarter of rain coming. And they've been very accurate now all spring. Tree frogs, I'm thinking. Yeah. Oh my goodness, look at this. Beautiful. Well, they felt my vibrations. Interesting, in here, as of yesterday morning, there was still just a very little channel separating these bodies of water. Now it's completely underwater. Wow, what a wonderful thing. If this keeps up, we're going to see turtles on those bogs. That's their customary sunning point. I could only imagine. There was motion in there. Caught it out of my peripheral as I was turning. My imaginings of this pond ever filling to this extent this year. I'm very pleased. Astounded, actually, that we're being given this. And with another inch and a quarter of rain on the way, oh, look at the marker stick. Four feet away now from the current edge. Well, I got my main mower started on the second pull. First time in the spring. That's unheard of. For the last 10 years, every spring I'd have to take the air cleaner off, pour a little bit of gas down into the throat of the carburetor, and then pull a couple times and it would take off, and then I'm good for the rest of the summer. Well, this time every year I try pumping the primer bulb. It doesn't do anything. That's why I have to take the air cleaner off, pour gas in there. Well, this year, 3 pokes and I could see it squirting gas. Wow, maybe it will work this year. It did. No stress in this life. Well, I am going to go in and make ice cream. I don't have an ice cream freezer. I used to have an electric, the kind that twirls. You put ice, pack ice around and salt and then more ice. That was 30 years ago. I think I gave it to the neighbors when I was moving. I didn't want to have to mess with it. Sort of forced it on them. Well, they had kids, so anyway, I found a recipe for homemade ice cream. You whip the heavy cream. You whip it into whipped cream. Yes. And then a half of the cream you do that to. Then you add the other ingredients, fold it in and pour it into a metal pan and freeze it. And the whipping of it apparently makes the crystals micro tiny, which then lends a creamy, smooth, no ice crystal ice cream. I'm going to do it. I'd like to buy ice cream like I used to be able to years ago. It doesn't have gar gum in it and 2 or 3 other fillers. It's not ice cream, it's fake. And if you've ever left ice cream out overnight in the carton, by mistake of course, you come out in the morning and it's melted, but it hasn't sunk down to its primary components. Milk, cream, egg if you have any egg. It's still as high as it was when it was frozen. That indicates the artificial gar gum and all that other crap that they put in there to fluff it up. It's fake. And I have a hankering for real. All this recipe calls for is a pint of heavy cream, 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. They suggest vanilla bean paste, which I'd never heard of, or vanilla bean seeds. And that's it. Very excited to get my lips and tongue on cold, frozen, real ice cream. Maybe it's time to get Lulu over here. Sort of been waiting for the Otter Pond to fill up. No, I haven't been. I've been waiting for the grass to grow along the verge so that when I get the dogs over here, they're not walking through the mud. And we're about at that point, almost. Look how this grass has grown up when I wasn't looking. And all of this. Oh, spring is so sensational. By the way, this is all poplar fluff. This is what, 2 years ago? 3 years ago? 3 years ago. My God, that's the year the Icarus tree blew over. It's been 3 years now. And that was the very end of May. Yeah. And the popple fluff that year was record-breaking. Life in a snow globe out here. What did she hear or see? That's second steak. I'm giving tomorrow's 2¼ inch rainfall prediction something to aspire to. Let's see if it can rise to the challenge. Yeah, I just figured out a new way to pimp her. I was halfway down the side trail there. She was up here, just looking at me. I came walking back and she's looking at me. I thought, how can I get her to react? So I took her about 3 seconds and boom, she launched toward me.